because I know some of you are going to be chatties in the chat box rather than chatty with me in person. So I'm a very engaging person. Like, I like to talk, I like to have fun. So keep that in mind if you would not mind. So what double negatives coming out of me tonight for some reason. All right. You guys ready? I'll get the drink in a minute. It's not important. All right. So my name's Matt Verdin. I am the Market Center Tech Trainer and Productivity Coach for Keller Williams Realty Center in Frederick and Columbia. I am also here in Maryland for my New York and Cincinnati people. And I'm also what we call a labs advisor. For those that don't know what that is, I work directly with KWI in the development of our technology. I get to play with a lot of stuff firsthand and provide feedback on whether it works, doesn't work, or what we need or don't need. So I will share with you all prior to the end of the class. I will find my slide for it so I can share it with you. How many of you are tech savvy? Let me ask that. Anybody tech savvy? So we are, just so you guys know, this is going to be a selfless pitch for me. Shameless plug, pitch, whatever. We are only about 100 of us, 100 of us that work directly with KWI to build the technology. And there are about 193 agents in Keller Williams. So we are looking to expand, and by the end of 2023, have 200 labs advisors. So if you are interested in becoming a labs advisor and working with the technology and helping it grow, help break it and then turn around and fix it, please let me know. I will provide you the application link. You will need to provide a video about you and who you are and why you want to do this. It doesn't have to be long, really short and sweet and to the point. It will be about 5-6 hour commitment a week. We have 3 calls a week. One on Monday is about half hour, 45 minutes. We have one on Tuesday directly with KWI, David Voorhees and Donnie Brookman. That's about a half hour as well. Then we have another call on Friday. It's about a half hour, 45 minutes. And then there are general labs that you can sign up for where you are in a big group like this. And we're actually working with a product manager and testing and asking questions and things like that. So if you are interested, I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop my stuff in the chat for you guys right now before I go too much further. How do I spell my phone number? That's not it. So reach out to me directly if you're interested in labs. Get with your Market Center Tech Trainer if you have one. If not, get with your team leader and ask who your regional tech trainer is, or like I said, reach out to me directly. All right. Yes, I've been through a lot of training today. Matter of fact, Ignite is one of my favorite ones I do like to teach, so I am looking forward to this. House rules, real quick. I really want as many cameras on as possible. If you're driving, please be safe. If you're at home, turn your cameras on, join us. Let's have some fun. Let's have some conversation. I want to limit the open chatter so everyone knows how to raise their virtual hand. So if I'm asking questions or looking for engagement, I'd love for you to raise your hands and engage back, because again, what you provide is going to help us out. And I do respond to fingers. I will honestly, this is why I want your camera on, right? You know how New Yorkers are, they don't follow instructions. She's like, I'm already off mute and got my finger up. Let's go. So
I don't know how to do the virtual hand.
Okay, so who doesn't know how to do virtual hand, if you don't know how to do your virtual hand, then you must have your camera on so you can be like,
okay, I'm just gonna.
Okay? And I have somebody in my coaching group, Chloe, that does that. She does this like she's like, okay, Danny, go ahead, it's your turn. So I will do my best to watch the cameras as well. All right.
Okay.
And if you haven't figured it out, we want to have some fun with this along with everything else we're doing. Oh, I got more people coming in. All right, so we are covering a lot tonight. I am not going to lie to you guys. We are covering a lot. So let me jump into this slide deck for me to get in here, share. Oh, that was weird. That didn't do what I wanted. There we go. Now it's working. Another person in the waiting room. All right, just so you guys know, I do have two screens. So you will see me looking this way because that's me looking at another screen to see what's going on with you guys and everything like that. So I'm not ignoring you, I promise. I'm just doing something else. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Get my chat window open so I can see your beautiful faces and Chloe's finger when she needs to get my attention. Appreciate you, Chloe. You're going to be fine. We're going to have a good time. Okay. Define your value. What does that mean to you guys? Anybody know what that even means? How about that? That's a great question, don't you think? What's that mean to you guys? Define your value. That's something to share. Sorry, Chloe. Someone's got to be it, and you're it because you went like that. So
I did not. Oh.
All right, so spark your career, embrace your job, connect with your market. Today we're talking about defining your value and what matters, the value proposition, what matters to buyers and sellers. Define your value proposition, and then we're going to do a quick little recap on this. What is a value proposition to you guys? What does that even mean? I don't want to give the answer over. Miss Kate.
I'm gonna define it as well, I define value as something that's important. So an important preposition, I'm gonna guess or assume.
Okay, I like that one. That gets us started. Anyone else? Kim is in agreement. Oh, and she's waving. Wait, she wants to share it too. Go ahead, girl.
No, I didn't mean to give the thumbs up. I mean, that's a good one. I agree, Kate, but I meant to raise my hand. I think a value also is like what you believe in, like integrity, morale, like, you know, what I put my like where I place my value and where I place my relationship with others, if that makes any sense.
That makes a lot of sense. I like that. And one other piece of housekeeping I forgot. I am at home and the 1-year-old lab is going to go nuts. So I did raise my standing desk to limit the amount of time she spends in my face. However, that doesn't mean she's not going to make an appearance from time to time. And you definitely will hear her from time to time, just so you know. So, Jamie.
So to me, value proposition will be do the service or the products that we offer has any value to the to our client. So is it what we offering of value to that client?
Okay, I like that one too. Good answer, thank you. Damon?
I think it means what do we have to offer that other agents don't have to offer? What make us stand out more than other agents?
That's a good one. And I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. I appreciate that, Damon, because that's one of the ones that I coach to and I train to when it comes to value proposition is, so for an example, well, let's go over what's on the screen real quick, and then I'm going to give you that little story, if you will. So your value proposition is a unique, memorable, and persuasive statement that expresses the true value of working with you, addresses the specific and special needs of the buyer and sellers in your market, states what you will do for your client to earn commission, and hold you accountable to a high standard, right? I think you guys pretty much covered the bulk of that. Would you agree? Right? So one of my things that I share when I talk about value proposition, and Damon, you really kind of hit it for me. If I'm a consumer and I'm looking to hire a real estate agent, buyer's agent, seller agent, doesn't matter, and I'm going to interview agents, what are you gonna do that makes me hire you? What do you offer, right? Somebody give me one or two little things of what you guys offer. Like who wants to role play with me for a brief minute? Anybody who's done role plays? Who's practiced their conversations and their talk tracks? This is why I like the camera on, because the facial expressions and Homer Simpson sliding back. This is what I like to see, right? Nobody wants to play? All right, I guess I can do it by myself. All right, so what I have gotten people to do, and I would tell you, this will, honestly, this will help you with your value proposition. So 99.9% of agents are going to use what kind of language? Why should I hire you, right? Well, I'm meticulous. I'm responsive. I care. I'm knowledgeable. All the standard stuff. In order to figure out what your real value proposition is, you need to go deeper than that, right? So, for example, I'm gonna need one of you to answer in a minute, just so you know. Anyways, you need to go deeper than that. And then the one question that I ask everybody is, what is the one thing? Just one thing. What is the one thing? Could be a living thing, it could be an inanimate object, it could be a piece of food, it could be a location, it could be anything in the world. If I see it, if I hear it, if I taste it, if I smell it, whatever it is, what's that one thing, no matter what, your friends, your family, the people that know you the most, immediately think of you, the number one thing? Who has an answer to that? What's the number one thing? It doesn't matter where they are. I don't care if it's a beer. I don't care what it is. What's the number one thing? If somebody sees it or hears it, it could be a song, or you think of somebody. What's that one thing that makes you think of somebody, or they think of you? Who's got an answer to that? Ariel, what do you got?
I'm gonna say either the color pink or a good self-help book.
Okay, so if I see pink, you're the first person I think of.
Yes.
Okay, tell me more about that. What color pink? Standard pink, fuchsia pink, bright pink? Like, what kind of pink are we talking about?
We're talking about like hot pink or like a baby pink. I wear pink nails. Like the majority of my wardrobe is pink. When you go to my social media, you'll see like pink blazers. So it's pretty much pink brings
What's
like
that?
Ariel to mind.
Okay, what's that pink do to you? What's that make you feel like when you wear your pink?
Confident, happy. Yeah,
Okay.
my entire house is pink.
Your entire house is pink.
Yes.
Inside or outside? Do you live in an HOA? I got questions now.
Yes. So the inside, I do live in an HOA. As soon as you walk in, there's pink walls, pink accents, pink chairs. I mean, the whole gamut.
How important is pink to you? Like, well, let me ask this. What brought the pink on? Why pink? Why not blue? Why not green? Why not yellow? Why pink?
I don't know. It's just always been a favorite color since a kid. My room has always been pink. My accessories have always been pink. Yes.
Okay. Now, what I want you to do, colors are harder for me to do this exercise with. However, what I want you to think about, it's harder, not impossible. I'm really good at asking questions, and right now I'm missing one to get the point across. So I'm gonna attempt to still make my point. How do you relay your passion, your feeling, your energy around the color pink to a potential client without using the buzzwords, right? Does that make sense?
I think so. So like I incorporate it in my marketing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say that like again, accessories are pink. So like even when clients see me, they're like, I can tell your favorite color is pink, you know? So I don't even have to say anything. It's just kind of standard.
Okay, now that, and the point behind this exercise though is for you to use that as your leverage of something you offer. Not that you're just gonna start painting their nails pink or painting their walls
Right.
pink. Yet, how can you do that? Candace, I saw your hand up. You wanna come back for a second? 'Cause I'm curious to know what yours is. Tatiana, yours is chocolate in the chat. I think I could probably do better with that, but I wanna see what Candace says. What is your one thing?
So my one thing is Friends, the TV show. I will quote it whenever I get a chance. If I meet somebody, I have to like, I have to like always be like, they're Chandler. Like it's just the most random thing. But I've rewatched Friends so many times. Every Christmas I get something Friends related. Like it's just my favorite comfort TV show. I just like once I end it, I just restart it. So friends and family know, like if they come over during the day randomly, that's probably what's going to be on in the background to keep me company since I work from home. So
I'm thinking Michael's in agreement with you based on what I'm looking at on the screen right now. I don't know if y'all can see it, but he's been kind of giggling the whole time. Like, I'm there. I'm Chandler. I'm there. Wait, he
I'm
could
a,
be a Ross.
I'm a Ross.
I was
I'm a
gonna
Ross
say, I
and a
was your
Joey.
other example or Ross.
I'm like Ross and Joey.
Okay, so I can use that one a little bit better because what if you told the story around that? What if the story was, listen, what is your favorite TV show? You ask anybody. I don't care if it's regular TV, streaming TV, somebody's going to give you an answer. Do you know how much value is in that, what you get from that, and how you feel? I'm going to be that person to you, right? And you could use something from Friends. You could use lines from Friends to get through a way of value propositions. See, I told you, I'm ignoring her as your life. So that's where you're going to get some of your value proposition from, is by doing that. So does that make sense? All right. Let's move on to a little bit more. Top agents can easily explain what services they will provide to anyone who hires them. That's the whole point behind it. Make it short, make it sweet, make it meaningful, make sure it has value to them and what they're doing. All right. Try and get this whole slide thing to work for me tonight. There we go. Benefits of a value proposition: helps your client understand your value and expertise, protects your commission, and builds a strong and trusting relationship. Protecting your commission, in my opinion, is going to come from, got somebody waiting to come in and didn't say it. Protecting your commission is just going to come from doing your job. Honesty, clarity, setting expectations. You don't earn it until you earn it. So make sure you earn it. I think the 1 and 3 are more of the bigger parts of your value proposition. Don't get me wrong, you have to follow what your value proposition is. That's how you're going to protect your commission. And as a listing agent, that's how you're going to be able to ask for more for a commission in a listing than taking a less, because you're actually showing that value and providing that value that's in there. Building the strong and trusting relationships is more important. I almost feel like it should be number one. Why would that be number one? Why would you think I would say that? Or who feels that number 3 should be number 1, or vice versa? I see the wheels spinning out there to a couple of you. Kate, what you got?
I say number 3 should be number 1 for me, just because I feel like building that relationship and rapport with a person is kind of my way to connect with you. I mean, just like crap, I forgot. Hunter said yesterday, like when it comes to like building or talking to people, building that relationship, connecting with people. Real estate may not be for everybody, but it's how you start the conversation, how you actually get real estate to work for you is the foundation. So for me, I feel like building that rapport, connecting with people, just saying, "Oh, I like your glasses," and it starts from there, and then we can talk about real estate. So for me, I would put number 3 as number 1. That's just
Okay. All right, David, what do you got?
I agree also. I believe number 3 should be number 1 also. Pretty much, if you build the trust and the trust and a strong relationship, no matter if you're a rookie or not, They will trust that you got their best interest at heart instead of, just trying to sell your stuff or what they'll be able to trust you that you got their best interest at heart.
That's it. It's all about working with people that know you, like you, and trust you. And they're not going to know you, they're not going to like you unless you build a relationship with them. The second side to that is, how many of you have experienced, been through, attended something around the 201 Plus Club? Who knows what that is? You can just throw a hand up or a thumbs up, or whatever the case may be. For those that have not attended or been spoken to or had one of the trainings around 201 Plus Club, your value proposition is going to be a huge part of that. The 201 Plus Club is that we've known now after 3 years of data from Keller Williams, from KW Command, that 75%, and Gary went around and talked to our top agents, 75% of our top agents get 38% of their business from their SOI, past clients, and referrals. Would that be possible if I didn't build strong, trusting relationships? Right? I see some heads shaking out there. So that's why I think it's number one. Because if you have that mindset of having that proper trusting relationship, the rest of it's going to come easier. So your value proposition, in my eyes, should be built around that. So here's some value propositions. You guys already know what a lot of these are because you guys see the commercials on a regular basis yourself already. We see them all the time. Who's using Grammarly, by the way, just out of curiosity? Anybody out there using Grammarly on a regular basis connected to your Chrome extension so it makes all your emails sound better? Cool. I like it. If you're not using it, it is free. You can use it. It's very helpful. And it just connects right to your Chrome extensions. So like State Farm, here to help life go right, right? What's the other one? Allstate, you're in good hands. It can be as simple as that, as a one-liner. So figure out what you're offering your clients so that you can actually communicate to them in a way that helps build those strong relationships. Any questions or anything so far? Everyone good? Any ahas, or somebody want to share anything? No? Okay. Can't help it, I'm sorry. Connect to your value, your KW Market Center, your fiduciary responsibility, your market expert. What's a market expert? How do you become, how about this? How do you become a market expert? Kate, I mean Kim. I just saw the K. I went with what I knew. Sorry. She's got the hand thing up, but not the mute thing figured out yet. It's okay. It's only been 3 years we've been doing
Oh,
this.
sorry.
All right.
The touch screen, it was acting funny. I think a market expert is someone that just knows what's going on in the market, like knows like what the rates are, and just understands the market in general.
Okay. So you can help price homes to sell because I'm very tuned in to the market at the moment. We're staying on top of the market. How do you become that?
I think by like just reading and talking to people, like, and that know, you know, that have done it, have been doing it. But I think also just keeping up on like all the stuff that comes out, like you can read on like Bright and all the different like things, the publications that come out and stuff like that, just keeping up on it, you know, but also talking to people, obviously, and connecting with them that know a little bit more than you, because that's how I learn a lot of my stuff, is just learning from people that have done it before.
Kim, I appreciate that, because one of my biggest, Patrick, you know this, and you're not doing it. I'm not going to call you out on this national call. I'm just going to say it. My biggest thing is being engaged with your market center. The more time you can spend there around the people that are there every day working, the more you're going to learn, right? That's the number one thing you can do for yourself. Number two is you need to be out viewing properties. Every one of us should be setting up agent previews, particularly if you're brand new to the industry, because you're going to go out and you're going to start learning what a house costs in a certain area. If I focus on a couple neighborhoods, my own neighborhood per se, or the neighborhoods that I want to geo farm and become the number one agent in, I need to view anything that's on the market right now because I need to be able to walk in, know the bathrooms, know the bedrooms, know the kitchen layout, know the square footage, and watch and see what they're selling for. Because while I'm marking that neighborhood, someone's going to say, well, you know what? I've been thinking about selling. How much do you think I can get for my house? You need to know that. You need to be able to say, you know, it's funny you asked that, Kim, because I've been watching the market in this neighborhood, and I've been in 123 Main Street, 1602 First Street, 13 now Maple Street. I've been into Banana Street. I've seen all of these houses, and right now between them, the average is going for about 450. So based on what your house is, because you're very similar to the one on Main and the one on Banana Street, so you're probably sitting around the 4 to 425 as is right now. Of course, I haven't seen it. I got to get inside of it to really price it. That's how you become the market expert. Make sense? And being in your office, like Kim said, be around the people that are doing it every day at a high level and asking questions. I have not met a KW agent yet that will not take time to talk to you and share with you. Make sure you're pulling from your resources because we're all here to support and help. Questions? All right. Make sense? Well, they did shorten the slide deck on me. Look at that. That's fine. All right. Oh, that was that part. I forgot the other part. Oh, they shortened it. That's fine. All right. What matters to buyers and sellers? Any idea? Because this goes back to your value proposition. Kate, what do you got?
I'm gonna say, you selling their home or you helping them buy their home, their dream home. And connecting with somebody that's always gonna be there for them and provide that relationship.
Okay. Anybody else?
I would say like feeling like they matter and they're getting a fair deal at the end, but they really want to feel like they're important to their agent.
Okay, I like that. So that they're important. Thanks, Carrie. Chloe, what do you got?
I feel like there's like two different aspects to it, like a fiduciary aspect where they're getting like the best deal for either the house they're buying or the house they're selling, and you're doing what you can to help them. And then also like the making the connection with them, having the good relationship with them as well.
So they want to make sure that you're making them feel special and you're building their relationship, and yet they want to make sure you're doing your job to represent them.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So what about empathy and listening in the chat? I'm a big listen person. I like that. I appreciate that, Lauren, because if we're not listening, are we actually achieving anything? It's funny, I just had this conversation. I seem to have it a lot lately for some reason. Who are my big social media people out there? Who's like always on social media posting? I'm not raising my hand because I am. I'm just saying, like, who are the big social media people? Kim, Kate's like, well, maybe. Chloe's not sure either. So people are like, Brooke's like, well, what's big social media, right? So I don't take a lot from social media. In other words, I don't often see something that I take from social media and I remember it after seeing it. Jokes from TikTok, I do. Important stuff doesn't happen a lot. Okay. One that I found, and this has been probably 2 years now that I found it. We live in a society where we listen to respond, not listen to understand. There are two different sides to that. So the listening part is key to me, is because if I'm not listening to you and truly understanding it, can I really help you? I don't care if you're a buyer, a seller, a renter, a landlord, it doesn't matter. I can't help you if I'm not listening to you and finding out what your problem is, what your goal is, whatever it may be. And by listening, there's that empathy inside of that as well. So for buyers, their goal is to find just the right home at the best price in the right time with the least number of problems. Ariel, what do you got?
Yeah, I was gonna say I completed Bold not too long ago with
Good for
Shay.
you.
Yeah, and she was
So
saying like,
hold on. If you just finished bold, then you need to introduce yourself correctly.
"Hi, my name is Ariel. And I am Bold."
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Yes, and she was just saying how important active listening is because when we don't actively listen to our clients, we miss opportunities to ask questions that that we need to basically know. So it's an opportunity to go 3 steps deeper, but also an opportunity to connect. So
That
if
is
you
correct.
are at a listing appointment or a buyer's consultation and you're dominating and you're talking the most, then that means you're listening the least. And you're doing the client a disservice at that point.
Thank you. And that's perfect. And I have 2 questions for you. Number one, was that you just finished it recently?
Yes, graduated on March 15th or March 8th, one of those
All right,
days. I
so
can't
you
remember.
all right, so you were in the old bold model because there's a new bold model coming out. I would assume.
Okay.
And who was your coach?
Vishay Chevalier.
Okay, I know the name, I just don't know it personally. So not that I'm a
Okay.
maths coach or anything, I know a lot of maths coaches. So I get
Okay.
around. And I'll never forget my first maps coach either. So still got a man crush on that guy. Every time I saw him, it was like being in a Southern Baptist church. It was empowering in so many ways. So for sellers, their goal is to net the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time with the least number of problems. You see a commonality in there?
Least
Right.
number of problems.
Yeah, I like that. We all want least number of problems, right? I mean, that's every single day. I want to be able to look. I came home to a running toilet and a broken dryer, and I've only been home for 45 minutes. So that's, and I've only addressed the running toilet. I got to worry about the dryer next. I don't want those problems though. I think this misses out on what we just discussed. Then it misses out on the relationship because we need to make sure we're building that relationship and building that trust so we can get them to that point, right? Top 10 service areas of buyer value proposition. Ooh, we got it here. What's a needs analysis? Okay.
Analyzing a person's need
In short, can we go deeper on that?
and tackling it, tackling what the need is for that person.
Okay, I'll take it. Needs analysis is basically that. Oh, well, hold on before I get into it. Damon, what do you got, my friend?
Pretty much what will make or break a deal.
I like that. That's a good addition, right? Because there
Yeah.
are scenarios in there where your buyer and your seller list is going to look very similar to this when we get to it. But the buyer or seller, my needs are, well, your needs are what was on the previous slide, right? Cheapest price, most amount of money, least amount of problems, shortest amount of time, best value, blah, 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 blah. Those are great, but a deeper needs analysis gets down to location, size, bedrooms, bathrooms, garages, townhouse, single family. We got to get really deep down in there. And Damon, I would have to agree wholeheartedly is what's the deal breaker? So when I'm showing you these properties and we're doing what we're doing and I'm in negotiations for you, what are the 1 or 2 things that absolutely are going to shut this down? Because I want to know about those up front so I don't hit them or I can find a way to navigate around them because that is the least amount of problems part, right? So pre-qualification or pre-approval, I think is self-explanatory. We all know what that is, correct? Neighborhood information. This goes back to your agent previews, knowing the neighborhoods in your community. So when someone says, I want a certain house in a certain style, you can go, oh, you're talking about neighborhood A or neighborhood B, because those have those type of homes in. And they're going to go, oh, well, I already know about neighborhood A. That's kind of where I want to be. I didn't know about neighborhood B. Oh, let me show you that. Price point's almost the same too. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower because of what newer, older, whatever. Know your area so you can deal with that neighborhood information. Obviously, home search, we want to help you with a home search. Let me break out my market center tech trainer bat real quick and tell you how many of you are using your monthly neighborhood nurturers in the smart plans inside of Command. Everybody should be raising their hands. Who knows what the neighborhood nurture is? You. Thank you, Kim. Ariel, did you have your hand up or your hand up just to answer my question?
Just to answer the question.
Kim, okay. Just want to make sure. And who's using the consumer app? We all know we have a consumer app, right? You want to see something cool?
Question on the consumer, like what does the consumer app have? I guess that like Home Snap doesn't have, because typically I add clients on there. They can see like the schools and the crime rating and stuff. I guess I don't know a ton about the consumer app, so I'm just curious.
So that's a challenging question only because we have the current consumer app, which when you open it kind of looks like this. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, probably not. Then we have the brand new consumer app that we're still working on, that when you open it up, it looks more like this and has a lot more information on it, and we're still building it. See, I get early access to play with stuff. So if you like playing with tech, this is the time to do it. I would say the plus side, the consumer app, one of the probably the largest plus side to the consumer app is it talks to you. Yeah, Home Snap will help you with that to a point. Well, let me ask you this: are you paying for the Home Snap Pro plus extra package stuff, or just using the standard free version?
Just using the standard free right now.
Good job. Nobody ever paid them a dime for anything. Honestly, don't. It's pretty much what they're going to give you. You can do inside of our platform. Maybe not as clean with a certain couple things. I'll be honest. We're still building stuff out. New websites and all that are coming. The consumer app plus side is every time they're in that app, you're the only person they see in that app. It's always going to be you. It's branded to you. All of your contact information. They can send a request to you to view a property and suggest viewing times. They can just send you a message directly to the app requesting information. Hey, well, can you tell me more about this house? As well as the biggest plus side to it, and I don't use Home Snap to this level, so I don't know if it does this, but I can open up Command, go into the timeline of a client that I'm working with, and when I'm looking in the timeline, I can see every property they've put in. So when we have that needs analysis and they're like, I want to be in neighborhood A and I need these features, and all the homes they're looking at are in neighborhood C, which wasn't even an option. Now you know that you need to go back and have another buyer consult because they're looking someplace and looking at properties and liking properties that aren't even in the search you haven't set up on. So you can see what they're doing, whether they're on your website or in your app, as long as they create an account and sign into it, right? So there are a lot of pluses to it, in my opinion. Make offers, negotiate to buy, vendor coordination. I think we all probably know what that is, right? We're negotiating, we're coordinating with the lender, the home inspectors, any repairs need to be done, things like that. Closing and post-closing. What's the post-closing part? 1 in 10 are your top two. Knowing the neighborhood and being the expert should just be something that you are. And your negotiation efforts is in there as well. The rest of it kind of just comes in my mind just with the process. What's important about the post-closing?
Yeah, referral.
Go ahead.
Chloe, so she had her finger up.
Staying in contact with the buyer.
Going back to that value proposition,
Was
building
the
that relationship, staying in contact and for future business and referrals, right? Post-closing is one of the most important things you can do. And if you're using the right lender, partnering with the right people, the right lender and the right title company, they're going to help you stay in contact because they're going to remind you, hey, it's the end of the year. we're sending out their stuff because they bought a house this year so they can do their taxes after the 1st. I have a lender that's got all my people on birthday stuff that I don't even have on. And he's sending me emails going, hey, it's our buddy's birthday. And I remember, that's how I remember some birthdays sometimes. So make sure you're partnering up with the right people to support them. Seller value proposition, as you see, needs analysis, it's gonna be the same. What matters most to them? Rather than worrying about the purchase price of the home, now we're doing a pricing strategy. What are we gonna list it for? Remember, we don't want to overlist the home. We want to make sure we list it to sell. Property preparation. What's property preparation? Getting it cleaned up, getting it ready for pictures. I got you. Marketing strategy. What's a marketing strategy? What's that look like for a seller? What is your marketing strategy? That's the better question. What is your marketing strategy look like? Because how I run my business and I market my properties isn't going to be the same as you guys. We have a general umbrella of what we should do, but what is your goal? How do you like marketing properties? Some of you maybe never had a listing, yet you should be planning this out so that when you get a listing, you're ready, right? Receiving the offers, we need to, here's the other thing. I'm going to go back real quick, a slide or two, because it fits into here. Fiduciary. Chloe, you mentioned it earlier. Your number one fiduciary responsibility is to know the contract and addenda inside and out. You need to know the contract and addenda inside and out. Because if you don't, you're going to get taken advantage of by somebody that knows it better than you, or you're going to get yourself and your client in some type of legal situation that's not going to be good. Does that make sense? Quick story. Who wants to hear a fun story? It's actually kind of scary, but I won. That's all that matters. So I was up against a broker. Now I do have my associate brokers. Doesn't mean I'm smarter than you. Yet it works out best when I have to fight for one of my agents who was in my coaching program, when the other person failed to do everything correctly. In fact, they refused in multiple emails and multiple text messages to give back the earnest money deposit. Their in-house title company refused to give back the deposit. Because I knew my contract, because I knew exactly what was signed by all the parties, I hit them with all the paragraph 9, paragraph 11, paragraph 23. See this part right here? Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do it at all. I finally had to get my actual broker and our in-house attorney involved, and they still refused to give it back to us. It finally got to the point where my attorney was like, so here's what's going to happen. And I guess finally somebody at the title company saw it and went, what are you doing? So we got to check back the next day. It wouldn't have happened that easily. Well, actually it took almost a week and a half because this guy fought me the entire time. Yet I wouldn't have set the groundwork to get it back if I didn't know the contract. That's the bottom line. I don't need my associate broker to know my contract. I know my contract, right? Knowing your contracts is where making and receiving offers, negotiations, and everything else, your number one fiduciary responsibility comes in. Fair? Good enough. Who knows your contract inside now? I know it just changed, and it's going to change again in about a month. It's going to change again in another 3 months, but know your contracts inside and out. Keep up on your addenda. Negotiations, of course, sell it, pre-close preparation. What is your pre-close preparation compared to a post-closing? What are we doing on our pre-closing? Pre-closing is going to be making sure that we got our commitment letter from our lender, reviewing our Alta statement, make sure there's no fees on there. That falls for buyer and seller. You got to check all your stuff, make sure all the numbers add up. By the way, that's where you're going to check your commission, make sure you're getting paid correctly. Because we all know how important that is, right? All right. What buyers want most from their agent? Let's see what we got here. help find the right home to purchase, help buyer negotiate the terms of the sale, help with the price negotiation, and then 24% other. 52% want us to help them find the right homes for sale. How much do you agree with that? What do you think? Do you think they really, really need us to find homes? I like Kim's. Why?
No, I think they find them on their own now, online.
How many times, who's worked with buyers already? Who's already got a buyer that they're either currently active with or have done a transaction? If you haven't, take notes, okay? How many of your buyers have come to you and said, I want to see this house? It's nothing you did. They want to see it. Why? Because they got Zillow. Why? Because they have Realtor.com. Why? Because they have your branded consumer app that belongs to you from KUW. The tech side coming out again, sorry. But buyers are making decisions online. We had this conversation today, matter of fact, that how many times has a buyer missed out on the right home, all because they made a decision based on photos they saw online? Not getting them in the house is the worst thing you can do for a buyer. If they're not in there physically looking at it, they're missing out on an opportunity. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of control over that because they're swiping left, right? Swipe left. They're not swiping right. They're swiping left. Makes our job a little bit harder, and it makes it a little bit easier because now they're coming to us with a smaller group of homes for the most part. Because now they're like, I want to see this one. I want to see that one. That's great. That's one house. What makes it harder is, well, they got one today. They got one tomorrow. They got one Saturday. Drags out the purchase process in a way, or it can. So be mindful of that. Almost like that. There we go. Factors buyers value when choosing an agent. Agent is honest and trustworthy. Agent's experience, reputation of the agent, and other. Look at the other. What possibly could be in the other? That's 44%. What do you think it could be? Kim. He's copying you from.
Maybe if they like you.
Well, we're in the trustworthy. I guess it could be a like because we've got trustworthy up there. Honest and trustworthy. I guess if I'm honest and trustworthy, they like me. So, I mean, that could be in the other. Brooke, what do you got?
It might go into the reputation, but I was gonna say like referrals from like your sphere past clients.
Okay. All right. That could be a factor. Do you know how many buyers choose and select their agent by being the first one they meet? And how important that is for you to be in touch and stay in touch with your past people because they're just picking random people. You see the honest and trustworthy, right? What's the honest and trustworthy? 20%. The other is 44%. So you don't have to be that honest and trustworthy. Yet if you really want to stand out, you need to be, right? Tatiana?
So I was a buyer just about a year ago, and I switched agents after like a year because buyers weren't really getting anything. But the only reason I changed was because of the area. So the buyer's agent I had was very good, but the area I wanted to buy in wasn't her like local area. And so I switched because the newer agent I got was very familiar with the area I wanted to move to. And that made the all of the difference because within 3 months we were able to buy. And I could tell it was because she knew the people around, she knew the agents in the area, and I could see where her phone calls made a difference. So I would say whether it's their farm or not would be one of the things. So
I like it. That is a fact. Trust me, as you guys move forward, those you have done a few transactions already, do you have a name of somebody that you like to work with? Or do you have a name of somebody you will never work with again already? I see Patrick saying yes. I have at least two. One of them's the broker I got in a fight with. I'll never work with him again. Well, not physical. It's the one story I was telling you. Like I was fighting for the EMD. That's so yeah, not like that. No, that was the home inspector over the weekend. That's completely different. Told you we're gonna have fun. All right, what sellers want most? Oh, I see another hand coming up. Zoe. See if she took both hands out of her hair and used the mute button, we'd hear her. Chloe,
I
it's
was
not
gonna
just
say
you.
what
Okay?
broker you're affiliated with. They might not know you personally as an agent, but if you're with a trustworthy brokerage, that could matter as well in that 44%.
I would agree with that, Zoe. That's a good one because that could fall under reputation, yet the slides to the agent's reputation. And that's a great little conversation I'll hit real quick for you guys is if you're brand new or you haven't done a lot of business and you're feeling nervous, when you're meeting with buyers and sellers, what's one of the questions that they may ask that fears newer agents the absolute most?
What brokerage are you with? I don't know.
No?
Your experience? How many
Your Exactly. Thank you, Mary Cruz. How much experience do you have? How many transactions have you done? How many of you are waiting for that question? You're just getting started. You're like, oh, I can't. Chloe, what are you gonna do about it?
I haven't done, for reference, any deals. I got my Keller Williams email last week, I'm brand new.
Okay.
But if someone asks me, I'm just gonna say I am trying to the best of my knowledge, blah blah, that whole spiel, but just let them know that I have many agents that are working with me almost as a team to help me through the process, because that's important. I mean, it may be my first transaction, but I'm also being guided through it and have the best people to help me with it to avoid any mistakes. It's not all me.
Goes back to, good job. Thank you, Chloe. That goes back to what Zoe said. Use your brokerage. You know what, Chloe, that's a great question to ask me about my experience. And I just tell you, one of the reasons why I aligned with Keller Williams is that they're the #1 brokerage in the country. My brokerage is actually the #1 in my jurisdiction right now. Matter of fact, the owner of my market center owns 2 market centers, and we're the #1 brokerages in both our counties, in Frederick County and Howard County. Between the two offices, I have over 100 overly experienced agents, two mega teams that are producing at high levels that I work with on a regular basis, which is where I have learned how to take care of my clients. So as far as my experience go, not only do I have what I have the backing of the #1 brokerage in the area right now. Is that a good enough answer type situation? Right? Oh, and by the way, if you really want to be upfront and transparent, you know what, Chloe? I'm going to be completely honest with you because I like you. You're going to be my first transaction. But don't worry. Here's why. And guess what? Because you're my only client right now, I'm all yours. Nobody's pulling me away from you. I'm not going to not answer your calls. I mean, granted, if I'm doing something else or I'm in a training or, I might be having lunch or something. Yeah, there are going to be times I might not answer, but I'm not going to answer the phone because I'm too busy. I want to get to that point, and you're going to help me get there by allowing me to help you buy or sell your house. Candace.
Right.
So, obviously I'm newer as well. I just got my license in February. But would it be okay or wise to draw on personal experience? I have sold several different homes. Would it be okay to kind of draw on that to say, listen, I've been on the other side? Does that make sense? Or
100. I was going to let you finish. 100%. Anything you do, bring yourself value and your experiences to the table, right? You don't even have to have sales in real estate. You could just have sales experience, right? Look, all right, who are my servers in the group? Right, I knew that was the answer. But who are my servers in the group, right? Hey, look, I don't want to brag. But I upsell like a son of a gun at the restaurant. I always win the appetizer challenge. I'm just going to tell you that right now. All right. Chloe's won. I'm just going to let y'all know that. Based on that smile, she's done that once or twice. All right. I've never served. I just spent a lot of time in the restaurants. I know owners and bar people and all that. So I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, you can use that, right? And now for me, you guys got to find your own selves, right? For me, what you just saw me do in a joking way, I do that with everybody. Right? I'm the one that plays the joke or has the fun to lighten up the room, right? You also have to know your personalities. So who's done a DISC assessment knows what that is. Your high Ds, your highs, high S, high Cs. If anybody can't figure it out, I'm a high D. So, all right. Yes, personal experience do help build relationships and everything like that. Technology in your value proposition. Yes. Start with your SOI. Every single one of you, I'll go back to it. 201 Plus Club, our numbers have shown the data that's been collected, more importantly, over the past 3 years. Every single one of you has a database. Every single one of you has people you already know, right? Who wants to do a quick exercise? And I'm going to show you how important your phone is right now, right? Everybody break out your phone. Unless you're on the phone using it for this, and it'll interfere with the camera. Open up your contacts. Google people, Android people, your number should be at the top. iPhone people scroll all the way to the bottom. How many people are in your database right now? Or in your phone? Because it is your database. I'm going to show you the importance of your database. Somebody give me a couple numbers. Chloe, what you got?
163.
163. Kim, what do you got? I saw you on mute.
315.
315. One more. Patrick?
396.
All right. All of you write that number down someplace. Not their numbers, your own personal numbers. Because I'm liking the numbers I'm hearing. Everybody write your little number down on a piece of paper. Now open your calculator. Open your calculator, put your number of people in your database, your phone, in your calculator, and then times that by 0.06, 6%. Patrick, what do you get?
23.76.
23. So we'll just round down to 23. Chloe, what'd you get? She's doing it long. Pencil.
9.78.
We're going to round you up to 10. And who was the other one? It's Kim.
18.9.
18.9. If you are talking to your database consistently and systematically, that is the number of transactions you should be doing every year just from the people in your phone. Just by talking to the people in your phone, that's how many transactions you can do in 1 year. Hey.
On your iPhone, how did you say you could find out how many contacts it was?
iPhone, go into contact, scroll all the way to the bottom. Androids, they got them up top. It's a win for the Androids on that aspect.
They actually, sorry.
That's all right,
They actually updated the contacts. So if you go to your contacts and then there's like a list and it says it in the top left corner,
okay,
you can see the number there.
I haven't updated mine in a while, so I might have missed it. So
My contacts is ridiculous because mine is like my business, but one of my business, it's my business phone, like personal phone. So it's like a lot of contacts in here.
So in your other business, why are you not talking about real estate to your other business?
Oh, I do.
Okay, so it's not messed up. That's all your
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I actually have 1,500 contacts.
So you got 1,500 contacts. So you're sitting around $2.2 million a year. Are you ready for the next part of this? Like how I said 2.2. What is your number? Your 1,500. Just what's your number? 1,500 times 0.06. What's your number?
Oh, find out. 90.
90. All
You
right.
said, yeah.
Yep. Take your number, multiply it by 6%. Now, take your 19, take your 23, take your 90, whatever that is, and multiply that by your average commission earned, not the percentage, the actual dollar amount. Most of our market centers here in Maryland use about 7,500 to 8,500 as an average. What is your average in your area? That is a commission. Multiply that dollar amount by that number of transactions.
Well, I haven't got a commission yet.
No, you don't have to. We know what the
Oh.
numbers are. The numbers are what they are. What is the average commission in your area? I know my 2 market centers, we use $7,500 as an average commission. So Patrick, what was your number again? 39 or 29 or
23.
23 times $7,500 comes out to be what?
172,500.
172,500. $172,000 a year he should be making just by talking to the people in his phone. Jesse, you use that 7,500 if you so wish. I don't know where you are or what your average is, but if you take your
Right.
90 and multiply it by 70.
I'm in Maryland.
Okay.
It says 675.
So 675.
Yes.
So she's making $675,000 a year.
Sounds good.
Kate, that's not nice. I just got the notification for one of the updates today. I just haven't done it. I appreciate that. I don't know if y'all paying attention to chat, but I just got called out. Do you know how many times I got to fight people in my market center just to update computers? All right, moving on. Now that I've been called out, I'm okay being called out. So what did we learn from that as we move on real quick? What's your takeaway from that 201 aspect right there and how important that number is? You're going to talk more about that in database stuff, but I want to talk about it now because it's using your value proposition to put it in front of those people you already have. And now you know how many people you have in your phone that you should be talking to. And now you have a goal set for yourself. Fair? We like? All right. Now everybody's laughing at me. 3 steps to define your value proposition. Identify your knowledge, attitude, skills, beliefs to make you qualified to be a great real estate agent. This is what we were talking about earlier. What do people identify you with? What are your belief systems? What do you value the most in your life, right? Transfer the value provided and the value of KW in your market center, right? So talking about that, I'm not talking to you, Kate. I'm moving on. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'm kidding. I'm going to pick it on me.
Matt, I'm sorry.
It's fine. I don't
Do,
mind.
do we get a 5-minute break? I hate to be the one to ask.
No, we can. I know it's
I don't
10
want to
after
miss anything, and I need a 5-minute break just to.
No, that's fine. I wanted to do one right around 7 o'clock, but we were getting into that. And we can do that real quick. Let's take 5. Everybody take 5. We'll come back, finish this, and we'll jump into the next section and run through that real quick so we can get you guys out here at 8 o'clock. That's fine. Thank you for reminding me. Everybody take 5 and come back. Yeah, so I just sit tight and but I got She needed that 5 minutes so fast, she left her hand up. My phone is lighting up.
Hey, Matt,
Yeah.
where is your office located in Frederick?
Do you know where the Buckystown and corporates? You know where the movie theater is?
Yeah.
We're right by there. We're on Corporate Drive.
Okay, because I work in Frederick during the day. So
Okay.
like I'm off North Market Street. So I was just wondering, but my center that I'm involved with for Keller Williams is here in Westminster, but
Oh, you're with
I'm
Jamie
pretty-
and Rachel then.
huh?
You're with Jamie and Rachel
Yeah.
and the rest of my people. I just had Charlie Kuntz and John Benedictus in my chat GPT class.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
yeah. I've met Charlie's I guess my coach guy or whatever, whoever, my person to help me out with stuff right now.
I was going to say something.
It was.
I didn't look like I froze, didn't it? Because I legit
I
was
was like, okay.
nah, I picked on him enough. I can't do that now.
Oh, okay.
I picked him enough today when he was with me.
Okay.
So,
all right.
all right, everybody back? Camera's back on. Let's have some fun. And for those of you that fell out and I missed, I had that part of a mittens on another screen. I moved it back over here. I mean, I do have an ultra wide screen here and a little screen here. Now I got everything on one screen. So I'm in overdrive on stuff. So all right. Value proposition. Finish this up real quick for you guys. This is your most challenging thing to figure out. Don't feel bad about it. This is also a forever evolving thing. Agents, teams, more than anything, I think, do it, but individual agents do it as well. You're going to change your value proposition as you go along. You're going to realize new home construction isn't for me and it doesn't fit who I am, and you're going to do some self-discovery along the way. So make sure you're identifying who you are now, reevaluate that. You're going to want to reevaluate it like you do a P&L probably every month or so, and then start figuring, am I on the right track? Am I doing what I'm doing? Should I be doing what I'm doing? Is it making me happy? Like, am I reaching the goals I want to reach? And you're going to tweak this as you go along. Make sense? Value proposition is going to be forever evolving on you until you reach that stature where you're like, this is really who I am. I feel like we come into sales in general and we want to change and be something that we think people want. I will tell you on a regular basis, be who you are. Transparency and openness of who you really are is who you need to be. Don't fake it for somebody else. The number one reason why, because I don't care how much you fake it, eventually they're going to figure it out. Once you start working with somebody and spending time with somebody, you're going to start getting comfortable, and maybe the way you carried yourself, maybe the way you spoke, maybe the way you dressed, whatever it might be, you're going to eventually be like, I know these people, I'm good. And you're going to show up in shorts and a t-shirt someplace and then be like, this is not who I met. So don't do that. Be upfront and transparent right away on that. And it's going to go a whole lot better for you. Make sense? All right. I feel like I'm a deja vu for some reason. Well, value proposition role play, we kind of did that earlier when I was asking you guys to figure out who you were. I'll give you a quick overview on something with that. The exercise I did with you guys in the beginning about like what does somebody know about you? What's that one thing? So like for me, if you guys haven't seen my branding in any way, my logo and my branding is the Home Retriever Group. I'll give you one reason why. Because I have 2 retrievers. Matter of fact, if you see my logo, the chocolate lab is my logo. We don't talk about the yellow lab. We just don't talk about her. That girl is nuts. You know, you can laugh, it's okay. So forgot why I was telling you that. They're out there going nuts right now, and I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what I was telling you. So I did this when I was in my previous market center as a coach. I did that same exercise. What's the one thing? I had one of my agents in there. Mary Cruz will say if you heard this story. Patrick, you might have heard this one too. That I asked her a question and I said, what do people like? What is it? She said baking. Yeah, I don't know if you heard that, but I legit thought they both fell on the door just now. She said baking. I said, okay, what kind of baking? Are we baking cookies? We're baking cakes? We're baking bread? What are we baking? She said cakes. I said, okay, what kind of cakes? We're talking like round cakes, sheet cakes. What are we talking? Round cakes. Great. What kind of round cakes? We're talking 1 layer, 2 layers, 7 layer. She's like 7 layer. I'm like, I'm getting hungry, but let's keep going. I said, all right, so we're talking 7 layers of round cake. What kind of cake? Yellow cake, chocolate cake, what kind? I think she said white or yellow. I said, okay, we got a yellow cake, 7 layers, it's round. What kind of icing? Some buttercream icing. I went, all right, I'm in. We have toppings on this thing. What are we talking about? She's like, fruit. I'm like, okay. Now, what I just showed everybody was how to go deeper on questions on a need analysis. She discovered her own value proposition because what does she feel when she bakes? What does that do for her? How does she bring that love and that affection to baking into her clients? Make sense? That's your value proposition. That's a very large portion of your value proposition. Fair enough. Any big ahas or takeaways on that, on the value proposition? Yes, no, maybe. Somebody's getting eaten over here. It's going to be a mess. Hey, he's on the couch. Time out. Thank you. That's the only way. I got to tell her he's on the couch. He's on the couch. It's time out. All right, no ahas, the big ways. Who is working on their daily success system? Did Hunter go over the daily success system with you? Everybody knows what it is and how to do it. He didn't hit on that. All right, I'm going to touch it real quick, then we're going to get into our next slide. So every day, every single day, you need to be working on your growth. Your growth is having 10 conversations every day, 10 conversations, adding 10 contacts to your database, sending out 10, if I could speak, 10 handwritten notes. And Kate, all day long, this thing's been popping up, 16.4.1 available to install all day long. It's been driving me nuts. So I just haven't done it yet. 10.5.1 on social media engagement. You guys know what that is? No. You need to be posting. You need to be engaging. I forget what the one is. I just completely drew a blank on the one. Engage on social media. I'm going to give you another version of this. It's still the same for social media engagement. It's called the rule of fives. Anybody ever hear of the rule of fives for social media? Rule of fives on social media will support your social media engagement for your daily success system. Okay. Great question, Carrie. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go to your question because I like that. Once we determine our value proposition, what is the best way to articulate it and showcase it in our business in an organic way? That is a great question. Does anybody have any ideas around that? All right, I got it. I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to jump into this. I'm going to do this actually. Let me do this. Stop share. So I said stop. Thank you. So I can go get my other slide deck. Your best avenue, in my opinion, is going to, you got to get it written. You have to write it up first. All right. What are you going to do to write it up? How are you going to write it up? I would say write it up as best you can by yourself. After my experiences and my use and practice around ChatGPT, you will be surprised at how well you can take your pieces of what you are, your core things, and just put those chunks into ChatGPT and say, write me a value proposition around this. And it will put it in writing for you in probably the best way possible. And you can tweak it from there. Getting it out to share, obviously you're going to make it in some place on your website. You're going to share it in social media. And then my suggestion would be to promote it piece by piece, because your value proposition isn't just one thing. It's a bunch of little things. So a rule of threes, if you will, you're going to share this portion, this portion, this portion. Like, number one question everybody should ask themselves right now while I bring up this new slide deck. Well, Carrie, does that help? Does that answer your question enough? Because I mean, it can go deep. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely a multi-layered question, but that definitely helps. I think I'm struggling with my social media, like figuring out how to be consistent and show that. But yeah, no, that definitely helps.
So I go back to the cake story I was telling. Show pictures of the cake. Right? Show pictures of your value. Right? If your value is family, guess what? You're going to put your family on social media.
Okay, so it could be as
family
simple
events or family activities. You're going to also promote local family community events, right? Whether it be, speaking of family, look at Zoe up there. Everybody see that? Everybody go, oh. So, that's what you got to do. You have to promote. You're not promoting the words. You're promoting the energy of it. Is how you're going to promote it. You want to showcase. What's the saying? If you're going to walk the walk, or if you're going to talk the talk, walk the walk. Sorry, I said that backwards.
Right.
So if you're going to talk about it, then walk it, do it. So take what you're saying and what you believe in and what your value proposition is and actually go and do it. That's how you're going to get it out there. Does that make sense?
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Any other questions or comments while I go after this other slide deck real quick? It's kind of funny because we're kind of going backwards in time. Because to define your value is actually in session 4 and embrace is session 2. And however, they all work and they all work well together. So we got about 35 minutes for me to talk about embracing your job. What do you think embracing your job means? Well, what does it mean to you?
I would say like the big thing about embracing your job is just applying yourself. You have a ton of resources, but you're not going to get anywhere without using them actively and staying consistent with them.
Oh, Yes, Dawn, I'll come back to that. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me. That's one thing. What else you got? What do we else have for embracing our job?
I'd say maybe embracing your job like it's who you are, kind of putting your passion into it.
I like that one. Thank you, Zoe. Damon, what do you got?
I think it's like knowing that it's not going to always be smooth. There's going to be some ups and downs, and take it as it comes.
I like that. Admit to yourself, embrace the reality of what is happening, right? Embrace the fact that buyers are going to be tough, sellers are going to be tough, buyers are going to be wonderful, sellers are going to be wonderful, transactions are going to be wonderful, transactions are going to get terrible sometimes, right? Just embrace the fact that this is what I do, love what you do, and find a way to have fun around it. I don't know if you all realize yet, but I'm really keyed in on the fun part. So live out being a realtor, not just having the title. Show up to event, be present, market, and advertise. Learn to love it, even if you don't right now. I like that. Thank you, Tay. That's pretty much what I just said, right? Embrace what you're getting into. It's only going to help you down the road. All right, Dawn reminded me of my rule of fives, and I got sidetracked by that other comment in there. Rule of five for social media. Post 5 times a day. All right. First post in the morning, before you post your first post of the day, find 5 people in your social media. And I would tell you to target 5 people you don't see on a regular basis, because we all know we see the same 25 or 30 people in our feeds on a regular basis, right? We all know that algorithm. So go find 5 people that you don't normally interact with. Comment on all 5 of their social media pages. I don't care which ones. You can do 5 on Facebook, 5 on Instagram, 5 on Instagram only, 5 on Facebook only. This is how you break the algorithm. Post on 5 of their 5 different accounts. When you're posting, you're using 5 words or more. 5 minutes before you post, 5 other people's pages with 5 words or more. That's your rule of 5s. And if you're doing that, it's going to increase the algorithm of people that are seeing your stuff, because just clicking the little hearts and the smiley faces and the cares and the hearts and all those little emojis don't do anything. It's your actual engagement. So engage with your people. Also create engaging posts when you're doing it. I did a newsletter class yesterday, and it actually came up in ChatGPT class today, that question posts, engaging posts. And one of them that was shared was an email was sent out. It wasn't done by post, it was an email, and they actually got a listing appointment out of it. And it was something like, if you were to sell your house this summer, you would sell it for blank. And it said to answer this question. You're better off to put things like that on social media to get people's engagement. Why? I'm hitting more people.
I think it also is because you're actually like, people are taking the time to like read it, and then when you're like posting it, it's sometimes like if you post somebody posts something, you comment, then somebody else that's not your friend might see it, like depending on the way it's set up. Does that make sense? Like
it does, and you're on track for that. So it's a factor of, if you put it out there and they engage with your post, you need to engage back. The other part behind it is, if they're engaging and answering a question, do you think you have some potential clients?
they're thinking about it. They're taking
Something's going on in their world.
Taking the time to think about it.
Right.
And
Now,
they're not just scrolling by it, because like how many times do you look at your feed and you just are like, I do it. I just aimlessly scroll sometimes just for the hell of it, but but if I like sit and have to fill something out, I really think about it. And I'm like, okay.
Don't we call that TikTok? just aimlessly. But yes, you're absolutely correct. It's the engagement part. I want to know who's answering it. It's a great question to ask your database too, because your database is already knows you and likes you. They probably just don't know they trust you yet, or they just don't realize they want to work with you yet. So it works to send something like that out in a newsletter, right? Newsletters need to be engaging as well. So if you're doing a newsletter, which everybody should be doing a monthly newsletter, I know you guys are new to the business, yet learn how to do your monthly newsletters, because sending those out are going to be a huge benefit for you, okay? 6 core competencies of a business. Your number one, this is part about embracing your job. Embracing your job is knowing what your job is. Your number one job in life, in this business, is what?
Lead generate.
Thank you. Lead generation. If you're not generating leads, you don't have what?
A job.
Well, yeah, business, a job. Yes, that's accurate, right? Number one, embrace it. You are a lead generator, a lead capturer, and you must convert them to appointments. It's all about working the database. It's all about communicating with people, all right? Present to buyers and sellers and get agreements. This is your next step, is that you need to embrace that you are a showman. In a short way of saying it, you need to be able to know, again, your presentations that you do to your buyers and your sellers is knowing the business, knowing the market, right? Let's go back to that real quick, because I forgot about it, just popped back in my head. Another way to know the market is to know mortgages. You do not need to know mortgages to the level to be a mortgage lender, yet you need to be partnered with mortgage lenders that are going to help you be knowledgeable, particularly when it comes to buyers. And in this new market, it's going to be sellers too, because you're going to have to do some mortgage hacks to figure out exactly how you can manipulate the buyer's mortgage and any seller concessions to make a transaction work. So the more you know about mortgages, the better off you're going to be too, and you're going to be an expert on things. Obviously, showing buyers, show buyers and market sellers. So you're showing properties and you're marketing your listings. Write in and negotiate contracts. Again, I think I've expressed it. You need to know your contracts inside and out. You're going to coordinate it. You are the ringmaster. You are the conductor of the orchestra. You need to make sure you have everything in place and making sure everything is running smoothly. That is your job. And of course, managing money. As an associate broker and as somebody who knows this is a mistake that happens a lot in the state of Maryland, earnest money deposit checks must be deposited. Again, I will say in the state of Maryland, must be deposited in our accounts, the brokerage's account, within how many days?
7 business days.
7 days.
I heard a 7 and a what?
I thought it was 3 days.
It has to be in the broker's account within 7 business days. Your brokerage is doing the right thing if you think it's 3 days, because the brokerage wants it in 3. The sooner you get it to brokerage, the more guarantee they get it in within the right time. So yes, get it to your brokerage itself within 3 so they can get it in the bank within the 7. Fair enough? All right. I want to run through these because we went over most of this in our other one a little bit. So I want to get into a couple of slides. Where's my notes? Mindset matters. This is the number one thing that's going to impact your entire business. Why is this important? Who has the right mindset to be in this business, or who has the right mindset in general? What does mindset mean to you? I know it's getting close to 8 o'clock. You guys are getting tired. I know. Nobody's in the right mindset. Look, Kim's already rubbing her eyes. Bedtime for Bonzo. Mindset is your number one thing. I promise you that to this day. Go ahead.
Okay, I think that like if you have it, like if you have goals set in your mind, like then you're gonna go for them. You know what I mean? Like setting out a plan of like whether it's like a business plan or whatever. Like this is what I'm gonna do. Like I want to sell this many houses. So then you'll stream for that, you know, and then maybe if you meet that, then you'll go for, you know, just like having like goals. I don't know, like, and if you're like,
Goals?
I can do this, you know, I think a positive mindset, you always go further with than a negative mindset, obviously. Like if you think I'm gonna fail this, it's not gonna probably, you're probably not gonna do good. Like, I don't know, that's just how I am, so.
No, yeah, I'll give you that. Mindset is got a lot to do with exactly that, just the mindset. Am I in a positive mindset or negative mindset, right? Negative thoughts, thank you, Sabrina, negative thoughts with doubtfulness and negative outcome, right? What we put out in the universe is what we get back. You all heard that before? You put it out there, you're getting it back, right? Ian, I'm sorry, dude. It's on that screen now, and I missed you again. I appreciate you texting me, buddy. Somebody else just popped in and out too. Is everyone else having terrible internet like for the past like forever, it seems like lately? So find the courage to get out of your comfort zone. Lauren, tell me more. You're my new best friend. Come on. I want to know. Come on, bring your camera up. Come off mute. Talk about it. I love that. I love that. Find the courage to get out of your comfort zone. What is that? Where's she at? I think she's unmuting, but it's not working. Her microphone's not working. It's not working. I see you unmuting, but I can't hear you. Dang it. I love that statement though. So you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's okay. It's kind of like we talked about your stats. Like, hey, how long you been in the business? How many transactions you're done? That's the most uncomfortable feeling you're ever going to feel in this business until you get past it, right? So mindset, what you put out in the universe is what you get back. I need to be positive. Who's my Ohio person again? You're close enough to Michigan, right? Have you heard of Jeff Glover? Who's heard of Jeff Glover? No? You're close enough to it, right? I know you have, Patrick. So Glover University, Jeff is a top producing team out of Michigan, and he has his own coaching business called Glover U, and he has his Gloverisms. Who was my bold graduate? I forgot. Ariel, right? So we have our bold laws. You all are fortunate. I haven't mentioned one yet. Now that I bring it up, you're probably going to get 8 in a row because I know almost all of them. Our Jeff has what we call Gloverisms. His number one that I like, flip the switch at the door. Flip the switch at the door. I don't care what happened on your ride into the office. I don't care what traumatic event went on at home. When you walk in the door and you start doing your business, you need to flip the switch and put that all someplace else. Because if you don't, it's going to come out of your clients. And I don't care if it's a phone call, they're going to hear it. Flip the switch when you're in the business. Make sense? That's your mindset. More slides. All right. Embrace your job. Functionary versus fiduciary. This is actually a good one because I think this can get confusing in a way. So functionary and fiduciary. Oh, wait a minute. I want to go back to that. That went the wrong way. All right, I'll stop right here. My clicks aren't working. Functionary. What is functionary? What's that mean to you guys? Being functionary compared to being fiduciary. So can I just tell you, I don't do CLWs very well. I just don't. And for those that don't know what a CLW is, it's college level words. I'm a 2-decade fireman. We don't speak words like that. Okay. So functionary versus fiduciary. What's that mean to you guys? The baby's sleeping. Probably so because Zoe's off camera. The baby's probably sleeping now. Functionary. That's actually doing the functions, right? Helping the process go through to where your fiduciary is all your legal aspects in short. Fair enough? We won't spend a lot of time on it because it seems like you guys don't want to talk about it. That. Nothing else about your business will have as big of an impact on it as the number of leads you have. I'll jump right back into 201 Plus Club. You guys did your math. Everybody did your math, right? Everybody took their number of people in their contact, times it by 6%, and then timed it by whatever your local market is on an average commission. If you don't know what your average commission is, go into your office and ask somebody what's the average commission in a market center and do your math. If that's not a motivator for you to go out and start talking to your database and talking to leads and generating business so you can earn that much money, I don't know what else is. So we've been doing the 201 Plus Club here in Maryland as a road show, and based on the number of people that are here, it tells me you haven't attended one of them. It's actually getting ready to end, matter of fact. They were just in Annapolis. They're going to be Ocean City soon. Anybody on the shore? Any shore people? Anybody want to go to the beach for a while and go attend it? It's on May 4th. Take some time to go to the beach. I was supposed to go teach it, but I don't think I can make it. All right. The leads you earn and the leads you generate are the biggest impact on your business, because without your leads, you have no contacts. Without contacts, you don't have appointments. Without appointments, you don't have agreements. Without agreements, you don't have a listing, or you don't get a contract, and you don't get anything to close. Accountable people achieve results. Others can only dream. Kim, I'm going to go back to you because this fits into what you were saying about having your goals. Who knows your goals? You can answer it, or anybody else.
I was gonna say, well, I know my goals, and like, so.
Who else knows them?
Maybe my son. I haven't told anybody, like, I don't really have them. I have them written down, but.
Written down is one thing. Now, here's another question for you. Well, why is it important for somebody else to know your goals?
So they can hold you accountable for it.
Yes. You can know it all day long, but if somebody else doesn't know it and they're not calling you up, hey, Kim, we talked a couple weeks ago and you said you were going to do X, Y, and Z. And I was wondering, that was pretty cool. You said that. Did you do it? Yeah. The best person to hold you accountable is your partner, your family, very close friends, right? Get them to hold you accountable because it's important. If they're not holding you accountable, no, they're not helping you. We want people that are going to help us. Inherently, we don't know how to help ourselves. We dream, and we can dream big, and yet without the goal. By the way, when you set a goal, do you put a deadline on that goal? I see Kate nodding yes. No, we don't put deadlines on a goal.
Yes.
Why do we put a deadline on a goal, Dane?
So you can measure maybe what stopped you from reaching that deadline, and then go back and reevaluate it.
Okay, so we're going back to mindset, because Damon's mindset was I didn't reach it, and I'm gonna go back and evaluate why I didn't reach it. What if you turned that around and said, because I know I have to complete it by here, it's going to motivate me to reach my goal because I set a deadline to it. Now, remember, we have to set realistic goals. You're not going to sit here and go, I'm having my first closing in 2 weeks. I only have a client. Let's be realistic. That's not going to happen, right? I had an agent in my ChatGPT class today. She used to be a capper. She let her business get away from her. She actually fired herself as a real estate agent for a while, completely shut her business down and rebooted. What we do today, we see the results when. What we do today, we see the results when.
$60 to 90 days.
There's Mary Cruz. Thank you, girl. You're going to see results in 60 to 90 days. And she validated that today in our class because she said, I fired myself. And when they said it takes 90 days to see the results, she goes, I'm legit at 90 days. However, new listing, multiple clients, couple closings coming up, like she hit it hard. You know what's the one thing she did to change her business in that 90 days? What is the number one job?
Lead gen.
There
Lead
you
generation.
go. Thank you all. She even said it. She goes, lead gen. She goes, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And I looked at her and I went, so you're lead generating now. And she laughed and went, huh, okay, yep, lead generation. Yep, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Lead generation. Because without lead generation, we don't have anything, right? All right. Choose an accountability partner. Every one of you are going to be together for the next foreseeable future on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. How many of you in this group have exchanged phone numbers, emails, social media? Anybody? Pick somebody in this group right here and now, or at least by tomorrow. Pick more than one and get together. Ask people. You guys know how to change this. If you don't want to put your information in the everyone spot, click on in the chat box where it says everyone, and you can pick an individual and send a private message to them and say, hey, I want you to hold me accountable. And I want to help hold you accountable. The very first thing you guys can do to hold each other accountable is what?
Setting goals.
Okay, setting goals. Marshall, thank you. Diamond, thank you. Zoe, thank you. I feel like I'm on a live right now and people are sending me like little roses and things like, you know, but thank you. Thank you. That is so nice of you. God. Diamond, I love you right now. Help me help you. Name the movie. Quick, go. Help me help you. Come on. You used it. What is it? Anyways, number one goal, number one accountability you can do right now is making sure everybody shows up here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Make sure you are showing up. Look at that. Everybody writing down this information? Start connecting. Have more than one accountability partner. Do not take offense to this. Listen to me very carefully. Do not take offense to this. You may not match with the first person you talk to. Time-wise, commitment, personality, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Find an accountability partner. Also use that accountability partner as a role play partner. You need to know your conversations and your talk tracks. Those are the new languages. We used to call them scripts. For whatever reason, we've gotten away from that. So you need to know your conversations, your talk tracks. Start practicing. How are you going to communicate to each and every person? Right? Know what it is. I did this last week's class I taught. I forget which class it was in. And I told everybody, I said, you must be a fast thinker in this industry. You need to be able to handle anything and everything that comes along. If you do not have the quick wit and the quick thoughts, it's okay. Just means you have to work harder at learning and knowing your scripts, your talk tracks, your conversations. You need to know them. You need to know your contracts inside and out, your addenda inside and out. That way, when you get asked a question, you know how to answer. Fair? That's the accountability part. Practice each other on your contracts. Yes, it's okay. My New Yorker, Howell. I don't know if that was Howell, right? Cincinnati. You guys do it different than we do. By the way, people, you all can connect with, wait, did Chloe, you put your stuff up there or no? So you guys can connect with Chloe if she puts her stuff in there, but understand the way she does business in New York is nothing like we do here. Nothing like what we do here. So you can still hold her accountable because she needs to go learn how she does that. She needs to make friends with attorneys more than she needs to make friends with mortgage lenders, in my opinion, right? Ohio, Brooke, you're fairly much like we are. I had an agent in Minnesota that I used to coach, and it wasn't much different than we are. So you'll be able to relate to everybody as well. So can I just say thank you to every one of you? Like all of you are lighting up the chat right now with all that information. And that is super cool. All right. How many of you are like writing stuff down and freaking out right now? Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Do they have it turned on? Let me look. Let's see if they have it turned on. Let's see. Oh, it's not turned on here. It doesn't look like it. All right, so scroll down this and do a copy and paste. They don't have the save chat ability on here. So you used to be able to go in here and like put in save chat. I don't see it turned on for this one. So if we get they should get on the recording, they should copy this. I'll reach out and let them know that you guys want this. Maybe we can just email it out to you guys so you all have it. Does that work? Is that fair? You all okay with that? Okay. All right, that's it. Embrace your job. That is it. Any questions, any comments, any concerns? Any excitement, any joy, any sorrow? Anyone want to share a key takeaway or anything like that? I'm actually going to give you guys one more thing while I wait for you to give me some feedback.
Will we get the pamphlet or notes again like we did last night?
You should.
Okay.
I'm not in charge of handing that out, sorry. So
Okay.
was it something that was sent to you beforehand or afterwards?
They put it on the notes section. Where it's
Okay.
Yes.
So that Google Drive that you got last night should have all of the sessions in it.
Okay.
So do you still have that drive?
No, is it still in the notes? Do the notes connect each day or are they different?
No. So you mean in the chat box?
Yes.
So no, but hang on a second.
Okay.
I'll give it to you. Keep this Google Drive because, well, I'm going to try to. This thing's acting up on me. Come on. I'm trying to get it. I'll give it to you. But who has their Google Drive from yesterday? Everyone should follow the broke agent. Why?
They're funny. Look at the one I just saw. There's good memes and stuff. I don't know.
I'm not angry about it. I'm just, you know.
The spirit of embracing your job.
I'll tell you what, your number one thing. There it goes. All right. Your number one thing that you can do is embrace your job. You must embrace your job. And you must accept the fact. All right, I'm gonna put that Google Drive. It's in the chat right now, Dawn. Keep that Google Drive. Although Kate beat me to it. Thank you. Everything's running slow for me right now. I'm going to give you one more thing. Did you guys do a feedback form for Hunter yesterday? No? All right. I need feedback forms. By the way, you're going to have me for the next 2 Wednesdays. Are we excited or not excited? So you got me tonight. You got me for 2 more weeks. All right. I'm going to give you guys a link to a feedback form as well. So I am in the process of becoming a Keller Williams University approved trainer. And one of my requirements is to teach Ignite. I've done Ignite way too many times to count. However, it has to be done in the past year. Well, it has to be done, in the past year since I got the ominous dominus and okay for me to move on. I had to go through 2 programs and get approval from one of the 3 people that can give me approval to move on. So I got that in October. So I'm working on that. So if you all could click on that feedback form, fill that feedback form out. I have not looked at this feedback form, so I don't know what it is, but I'm going to put my full name back in the chat so you guys have that when you're filling it out, because I know it's going to need my name on there. So, all right. Any ahas? Anything you guys have questions about? I mean, we are coming up on our 8 o'clock. I do not want to keep you longer than I have to, because I know you all have busy lives on this wonderful Wednesday night. Zoe, wait, I need to whisper, the baby's sleeping.
Going back to posting on social media, your 5 rules.
Mm-hmm.
As a new agent, before getting any listings or anything like that, do you have any examples of what we can be sharing on social media to promote our business?
How about if I do one better for you? What if I do one better for you?
Awesome.
Thank you for putting in the Jerry Maguire. Thank you for who answered that? Michael, good job. I know it got help me. Help you. I love that. How many of you been inside of Command and have played with Command?
Mm-hmm.
How many are you familiar with what a smart plan is? How many of you know where to go to the library for smart plans? Go into the library if you are a brand new agent, or if you've been here for a little while and haven't really made the full announcement to your database. Go into the library. Inside of smart plans, go to the library, go up top, your search box, change the search box to author. Change the search box to author and put my name in there. I have a 4-step smart plan that each step has 3 touches in it. One is an email, one is a text message, and the one is for you to make a phone call or contact them via social media. And that is how you're going to contact your sphere of influence, the people in your phone right now, to start talking about you. As far as social posting go, your best bet right now is to build out some type of graphic or just a picture of yourself or a short video that says, hey, it's me. I did a thing. Guess what? I'm in real estate. And just say something along the lines of who you partnered with. I chose to partner with Keller Williams because I'm excited to get into this. I'm looking to go into the next chapter, whatever that looks like. Whatever you need to do and whatever you're comfortable with is what I would tell you to do. Is that good? Does that answer your question, Zoe?
Yes, it does.
I'm
Thank
Chris.
you.
All right, one more thing. Who likes, well, nobody really raised their hand on social media yet. I'm going to give you a little something. Who likes doing videos? And when I say social media, I do include TikTok. Who's posting to TikTok? Don't laugh, Carrie. I see you down there.
Because I just, as of last week, was like, you know what, I gotta do it. So
Embrace it. Just embrace it. So
I'm doing it. And yeah.
All right. How do you create your videos?
For me, it's different each time depending on what exactly.
What platform are you using? Are you just using your phone video to take a
I'm
video?
using TikTok now, or just video on my phone and then uploading it into TikTok for more editing features.
Patrick, what are you using?
I just started using CapCut a little bit to play around with it.
I just heard about that.
It's been around. It's not just heard. It's been around. Old guy
I'm
knows
late
it.
to it. I'm late to it.
The old guy knows it. Listen, I want to tell you right now, go download CapCut. CapCut. All right, just like it sounds, CapCut. It is free. There is a paid version, there's a paid version, everything. However, they just added AI to it. They also added a teleprompter to it, meaning that you write your script, put it in the teleprompter, then you put your phone up on its tripod or wherever, and you look directly at your phone and read your words so you don't forget what you wanted to say. It's going to cut down on your takes. Now, I will tell you this. If you really, really, really want to make an impact on social media, keep your bloopers and make a reel of bloopers of you making something and share it from time to time. I promise you it will be a hit. People will love it. It makes you authentic, it makes you real, and lets people know that you also make mistakes. That's probably your number one thing you can share with people, is that you are human. Mm-hmm. And by doing video on social media is one way to do it. Okay. Any other questions? Great question.
Matt, can I chat with you after class, please? I just have a quick question.
Sure.
Thanks.
Just stay on here when everybody else goes. I mean, unless you want other people to hear it. I got no place to go. I'm home already. I'm done. And it finally laid down, but it won't last long once I start moving again. So, all right. Sorry, Chloe. I didn't see it.
I just wanted to touch with what with Zoe's question and your response, and kind of like a warning. Okay, because I'm gonna add everyone's contact information here, but my tech trainer and I are working on sending out mass texts and emails, and working on like a e-business card. We're just waiting for like my headshots and stuff to come in. I think that's a good way to like initially get yourself out there with your contacts, like a first initial text, just let everyone know what you're doing. And I'm also just warning everyone, you'll probably get that text after I add everyone's contacts. probably in the next week or so.
All right, I appreciate that. That's a nice warning to have. Matter of fact, every one of you should be warning everybody that you're about ready to get information from me. So that smart plan that I made that I told you guys you can download and use, it has that type of presence to it to where you can. All right, Jamie's got everybody stuck. Wow, she's quick. She's already got it on a spreadsheet. So there's Jamie's email. You can get that. She's got everybody on a spreadsheet already. She'll send it out to you if you email her right now. That's how fast she is. My 4-step process is like that. And again, going back to text messages, Command will send a text message for you, yet you have to have a Twilio account. I will encourage you to get a Twilio account every step of the way. It's only $3.16 a month for 300 credits. However, if you're going to use it with your existing database, do not text them from that number until you introduce them to that number. You need to either text them directly from your phone or send them an email directly from your email to make sure they get it, saying, hey, I have a new number I'm using in my business. Please add this to my contacts. Because otherwise it's going to be like any other number that pops up. And when they first get it, it's going to have an option to stop, which will opt them out. I don't know about you guys. I open an email and I see the big stop or no at the bottom. I go straight to it and respond that way. I don't even hardly read what's there most of the time, unless I know something's coming in. So don't ruin the opportunity to be in front of your database by prematurely putting that out and having them unsubscribe from the text messages. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions?
I have one last question. So for newer agents, like what would you say? Sometimes I feel like I plan out my days and I try to have like my micro goals for the day, for the week, for the month. But then, as you know, real estate is a very like last minute things fall into your lap all the time, and then things kind of go off kilt. What would you say, like, absolutely a must do every single day? And if you at least do that one thing, you're making progress. Is it the social media thing or?
That's a loaded question, Gary.
Yeah, I know.
That is actually a very loaded question, because my first response to you is the one thing is up to you. What's the one thing you want to make sure you do? Now, in short, your calendar is your one thing. So I know you said that, hey, things come up and things happen. No, they don't. You control your calendar. You control your clients. Also, this is probably a habit you all should learn early. Do not run every single time the client calls you. If you start showing them you're available 24/7, they're going to start treating you that way. So make sure you set expectations. I tell every single agent, I don't care if you and I are going to lunch. If somebody calls you and says, I want to go do this at this time, I'm sorry, I have an appointment. You got an appointment with me. You're here right now tonight and at night. You don't skip at night to go show property. Now, I know that's a very rough thing to follow, because you're sitting there going, hold on, Matt, if I don't go, I don't get the contract and I don't get paid. Yes, you still will. But if you let your clients treat you that way, then you're going to have a harder time with it, because they're going to run you rampant and it's not going to be worth the money. Does that make sense? So my big thing would probably say your calendar. Learn your calendar, understand your calendar. How many dual career people do we have? Who else is working another job someplace else, doing something else? That means it's even more important to you. You know your schedule at your job. Where does real estate fit into it? And once you figure it, do it. You said, I like how you said micro, Carrie. Your calendar needs to be, here's my everyday job. This is what I work Monday through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever that looks like. Secondary, who has kids, family, what activities do they have if they're still in school? You need to plug those in, because I got to go here, I got to go to soccer, those go in your calendar next. Because we know you're not going to give up something with the kids, right? You're not going to go date night, maybe, I don't know. Then where am I putting real estate? Once I know where real estate is, now I can sit down and say, okay, what activities am I going to do? So Mondays, I have these 2 time blocks. I can do something first thing in the morning, I can do something at night, or maybe I'm going to do something at night. What am I going to do during that time frame? Right now, your calendar every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is going to be filled with at night. Your challenge is going to be, and this is why your calendar is even more important, your challenge is going to be, I just learned some great, amazing stuff from Matt, and I'm going to go implement it. When are you going to implement? Do not use the excuse of I had to work and I got Ignite the next night. That's not going to cut it. There is a time in there as you can squeeze in 30 minutes to do something, to play with something, to practice something. There is 15 minutes to make an accountability call to one of the people you just talked to tonight. Hey, how'd it go yesterday? Hey, what did you get done? Hey, have you worked on your value proposition? What's it sound like? Because I want to work on mine too. Whatever that is, that might be all you work on over the coming weeks, is a couple of things like that, and put things in place for you to go on to do bigger things once Ignite's actually over. So your real one thing is one of the things you kind of got to figure out where you want to be. The dual career people, what is your number one goal? And it might not be, I shouldn't say it that way, and I apologize. Do you have the goal to get out of your other job and do real estate full time? That's the first thing you got to figure out. Then you're going to figure out how you're going to do it. Does that help?
Yeah, yeah.
Very
that's really-
long-winded, detailed. I know. Sorry. I like to talk.
No, that's good. And I always hear that don't let people run you, set expectations and boundaries on a lot of podcasts. And like you said, it's definitely a little easier said than done, but definitely I agree. And I think it's a challenge that I'm trying to figure out.
All right, you guys might want to stick around for this one. Marsha's got a great question. I don't know if y'all see it in the chat. She's working with an investor and a demanding client that expects her to always pick up the phone. That's my example of setting expectations with clients. And she says she's ready to just walk away, right or wrong. What do you guys say? Walk away or stick it out?
How big is that budget?
All right, I'm not gonna lie, that's a factor, right? That could be a factor. But what do you guys think? What would you guys tell her to do?
Has she tried setting boundaries already before trying to walk away?
Marsha, can you unmute with us and chat with us? I'd like to get
Or
into
like,
this. You guys give me a second. I'm gonna shut this recording off because it doesn't need to go for the next however long we're here, and then we'll get back into it.